Good morning, family, and welcome to Morning Heart Devotion with Dr. Chung-Shik Young, brought to you by our Heavenly Parent Holy Community. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 촌진 참부님께 경배. 바로. Now let's invite Reverend Wilhan Stevens to lead us in the family pledge.
가정맹세 1. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상임 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여급 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
And to open us up in prayer this morning, I'd like to invite Uncle Ken Morgan to lead us in prayer.
Okay, please join me in prayer. Our beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents, heaven, earth, and humankind, we thank you so much for this new morning, for our lives, for your love for each of us, your personal touch, your jagsarang, your continuous efforts, despite our lack of attendance and our drowsiness and our failings. We're so appreciative and grateful to you, to our true parents, to our elders in faith, from Abraham all the way down through Moses, and especially our dear brother Jesus, whose exemplary life still astounds myself and all people as to how could possibly carry the burden that he was able to without support, without appreciation, without understanding, without a single soul with whom he could share his heart. Just as you have struggled so mightily until true Father awoke one morning and he began your conversation. We really pray and are so appreciative to understand that that vital relationship is really the absolute destiny of each son and daughter, and that we can really look forward to clearing up all the confusions and our lacks, our shortcomings. We really pray for mother's health and well-being, for her long life, her strength, energy, and inspiration. So grateful to see her joyful face and her beaming countenance, her joy, obvious joy in the after events of the World Summit. So grateful for all the hard work of each brother and sister, for Dr. Young, for each of our continental leaders and our sub-regional directors, national leaders, and every son and daughter, as these conditions are cumulative and collective. We really thank you for this new day and look forward to an exciting and an eventful and a day that which we can report results that are strengthening and encouraging. We want to offer this day and everything to you. And I report in the name of Ken and Anne-Marie Morgan and all of us joined here around the world. Aju.
Aju, thank you so much, Ken Morgan. Really, you are giving such sincere heart. I really appreciate your sincere prayer. 감사합니다, Ken Morgan.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer. Now let's go into our breakouts and share our appreciation points for today, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you enjoyed your breakout session. First, I would like to invite up Uncle Ibrahim Hamid. If you could please unmute and share with us.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Young. Good morning, my brother and sister. I shared very little about my appreciation today. I am visiting Egypt this month, and I'm very grateful that today is the day that I will bless the first couple in Egypt, because I met those couple. They trained with the Suzuki. I think his name is Suzuki. He lived here in Egypt as a missionary for more than 20 years. I think 22 years he lived here in Egypt. And I met this couple because I asked my Sudanese friend, this couple lived here in Egypt, and they connect me with this couple, and I met them, and during discussion, I asked them, when did you took the blessing? Before the marriage or after the marriage? They said, no, we didn't took the blessing. I said, what? Why? I will give you the blessing. I was asking God, why you send me to Egypt? Then I will give you the blessing and complete what Suzuki started with you. And I will give you the blessing. That's why I'm very grateful today. I will give those couple blessings. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ibrahim. This is okay.
Thank you so much for your sharing, Uncle Ibrahim. The next person I'd like to invite up is Kayo-san Peterson. Kayo-san.
Sorry. Good morning, Dr. Yang, brothers and sisters. My name is Kaya Pilasan from Austin, Texas. Same place as Ken Morgan. He prayed beginning. And we do not have big community. Last night, we have maybe 4 or 5 families gather on Zoom. This is a 40 days prayer condition we started since beginning of this year, based on Dr. Young's desire to have COP Center, education for young people, and we want to focus on COP Center, looking for the COP Center and young leaders and core ACLC pastors who can start 43 days and core ACLC foundation in Austin, Texas, where we don't have foundation so many years. So with this condition, we discussed to have the spring festival. If we say this in front of this huge audience worldwide, brothers and sisters from Austin, Texas, we cannot back up. So we want to have determination to be successful for this spring festival, using for beautiful, huge 250, maybe around of that big acre of the land from Morgan Ranch. And we'd like to invite for the many churches that we have been contacting, and then have blessing festival. This is our vision and goal. And I realized that without vision and goal myself, even for this time of the goal to bring people for World Summit, it's not so inspiring for exciting every day for visiting church. So I am very grateful to have this kind of opportunity to share with my brothers and sisters from Austin, Texas. And also we all bring our heart together to focus for this goal of the COP Center and then core ACLC pastors. This is like a report from our Austin community. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Kayo, for your beautiful report and your activities. 감사합니다. Great.
Thank you, Kayo-san, and thank you for those who shared this morning. So Dr. Young has prepared another recording for us, so let us open up our hearts and our minds to receive his message.
안녕하세요. Good morning. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? Yesterday, we had a beautiful, victorious celebration with the True Mother. I think many of you are so inspired by our True Mother's guidance, also report by Dr. Yoon. And, just now we got the news that True Mother also invite again all major leaders to Cheonjeonggu. Sooner or later, we can see our True Mother. Today, I'd like to talk about Africa from True Mother's Anthology Book 1. So let's invite our beautiful Honey.
Africa. You are in a position where you have received the marriage blessing and become true olive trees. So you should not sit still. Instead, you should grow and multiply. You need to fulfill the mission of tribal messiahs. You need to make every effort to let others know of true parents. How wonderful it would be if wild olive trees could become true olive trees, and if all wild olive trees in the world could be transformed into true olive trees at once. You all wish to live in a more advanced country, a wealthier country, don't you? From God's viewpoint, however, you are better qualified to go to the kingdom of heaven. A person who owns much in this world needs time to get rid of it all. On the other hand, when it rains in the desert, all the water is absorbed. You can absorb all these teachings and multiply more quickly than the people in more advanced nations. What I mean is that you can realize the will faster than others because you are in a position of innocence. You should dream big.
You should dream big. Okay, continue.
This is my 4th tour of Africa, and this is the very time when you blessed families should be fulfilling your responsibilities. Though you may not own much externally, you possess a lot internally. You have now reached maturity. The time has come for you to carry out the New Mind, New Life campaign, and the new community movement. Each and every one of you should have a sense of ownership and work hard with the thought, this is my country. You should have big dreams. You are now different people. You need to become true olive trees and sow seeds. I hope that Kenya will become an internally advanced country.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. You should have big dreams. You should have big dreams. You are now different people. You need to become true olive trees and sow seeds. One of the things True Mother emphasizes the most is to dream big. Dream big. Why does True Mother tell us to have a dream big? The reason God sent the Messiah to this world was to save all mankind. Like a wise God did not call us only for salvation of one individual or family. One reason I have been able to turn my life around 180 degrees after joining the Unification Church was because I realized that God called me for the sake of the salvation of the nation and world, not just only for individual salvation. After this realization, I came to have dreams and visions for the salvation of God's nation and world. Since then, whenever I thought of the something, I start to think about the world and humankind. The dreams I have had for myself, all this time surpassed the nation and expanded to the world level. However, while thinking of world salvation, the world, my heart began to gradually widen, and my attachment for God and true parents' world salvation become stronger and stronger, and my prayer became even deeper. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, if the reason we joined the unification movement was only for the blessing for myself and my own family, then God's dream and my dream cannot become aligned. We must clearly know that the object of God and true parents' salvation is the world and humankind. Therefore, we must have a clear sense of calling that we were chosen for the sake of the world salvation. True parents emphasize to us to have big dreams. Then, to whom do dreams belong? To whom do dreams belong? First, dreams belong to those who have a dream. What kind of a dream do you have? If you stay in your own dreams, they will become dreams that have nothing to do with God, and it will all flow away. That's why we have to dream God's dream. God's dream must become my dream. When God's dream truly becomes my dreams, that dream becomes a true dream. That's why the Bible says that where there is no vision, the people perish. It means that if the dreams I have are unrelated to God, I will perish. Nothing connected to Heavenly Parents. Second, dreams belong to those who visualize them and desperately want them. If I have a dream of fulfilling God's will, I must be very desperate in realizing God's dream. You know, whether I dream for myself or I dream for God, the reason it is not realized is because there is no deep heart of desperately needing to realize that dream. True parents say that it must be more desperate than a baby longing for his mother's milk and crying and crying and crying. So mother, no choice, need to give the milk, right, my brothers and sisters? You know, to realize our dream, one of the most important things is how much do I have desperation with longing heart to reach my dream. And thirdly, dreams belong to those who believe in them. No matter how much we dream, if there is no belief that it will surely be realized, that dream will not be realized. However, if I have the conviction that my dream comes from God, that dream will be realized. Dreams that come from God will be accompanied by absolute faith. The more you look towards that dream, you must have absolute faith that if my dream is not my own, but it is for the nation and humankind, it will surely come true. This is the point, my brothers and sisters. And fourth, dreams belong to those who acknowledge and declare them. In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 28, God declared to Adam and Eve the three great blessings which were his dream. He said to be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion over creation. Jesus also came to this earth and declared a dream about God's kingdom of heaven. Jesus said to the people, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is now close at hand. true parents also came to this earth and declare about God's dream of God's nation and salvation of humankind. Therefore, we must also accept the dream of God's nation as my own dream and digest and declare God's dream as my dream to every person I meet. We must declare to all mankind that now is the era of the 천일국. We must declare that now is the golden age when God's dream will be fulfilled. Fifth, dreams belong to those who pay for them. No matter how big your dream is, or no matter how big dream your dream is, or how it is a dream for realizing God's nation, if you do not pay the price for realizing that dream, you can never actualize the dream. If you do not pay the price, you cannot get anything. Therefore, to realize my dreams, I must offer more devotion and more 정성, putting more of my utmost sincerity, shed blood and sweat and tears more than anyone. Without paying the price, my dream never realized. My brothers and sisters, true mother, even true father, often emphasize you need to have a dream big. Why? God's vision, true parents' vision is what? To save all mankind. That's why I need to have the same vision and the same dream like our true parents. Our target, our goal is to save all mankind and the world. Living divine principle of creation 19, living for the sake of others. So let's study the content of the EDP.
Center of the universe. Considering the purpose of existence of the individual embodiments of truth that make up the material universe at different levels, we can surmise energy exists in order to form particles. Particles exist to form atoms, atoms to form molecules, molecules to form matter, and matter exists for the creation of all the individual entities in the universe. The activity of matter is for the purpose of constructing the universe. What is the purpose of the universe? What is its center? It is none other than human beings. This is why God, after creating human beings, commanded them to have dominion over the universe. Human beings have dominion over the universe.
Yeah. Even heavenly parents absolutely follow the law of the universe. What is the main principle of the law of the universe? That is living for the sake of others. So even God absolutely followed that law, living for the sake of others. Energy, live for the particles for the atom, like that. And finally, even human beings need to live for the sake of God, and God, no other choice. He need to follow his own law of the universe. He need to live entire universe and human being. Therefore, it is concluded that the existence of myself must also live for the sake of others according to the law of the universe. So based on this content, let's study again our true Father's word.
From now on, a great revival movement shall begin through the altars of the Unification Church, beginning from Asia and reaching the entire world. The realm of resurrection here does not refer to the realm of resurrection of the individual. Rather, it refers to the realm of resurrection of the world that goes beyond the people and nation. Therefore, we should grasp the nation with our left hand and the world with our right. You should shed tears for the nation with the conviction that this nation is necessary in order to recover the world and become sons and daughters who follow God as he cries for the sake of the world.
Yes. True Father declared that Very important thing, okay? He declared that a great revival movement through the unification movement will happen worldwide. This speech was quite a long time ago from earlier church, and he already declared like that. Then the issue is how can we realize this, the realm of the resurrection of the world? First is to grasp the nation with our left hand and the world with our right hand. Secondly, to find the world have the heart that this nation needs. Third, shed tears in order to find the nation and world. Then the realm of the resurrection of the world can happen. When all of us unification is the witness to individuals and witness to tribes, if we shed tears thinking that we need this to find the world, then the realm of the resurrection of the world can be realized. Therefore, if all our North American blessed families shed tears while offering Jeongseong together for the sake of the world's salvation, the realm of the resurrection of the world will definitely be realized. Once again, the key point of True Father's word is for all blessed family to live for the sake of the whole world and shed tears for the sake of the all mankind. This is the way, I know the great revival movement can be happen. Next.
If there are sons and daughters who fight in tears to become a sacrificial offering for the sake of the salvation and liberation of humankind in this world, beyond the people and nation, and without regard to one's own salvation or the salvation of one's clan, from them a new historical global movement shall arise, bringing a new global transformation. Isn't that so? Then the countless of nations who see this and the rest of humanity who are unable to take part in this movement would thank them for shedding the tears that they were supposed to shed and submit before them in tears. You must understand that a new ideal of the kingdom of God shall be advanced in this way.
Yeah, I think this, word is really touched my heart, and then clearly understand how can true salvation for the individual and the salvation for tribe be realized. Again, my brothers and sisters, how can true salvation for the individual and salvation for tribe be realized? Very important guidance, my brothers and sisters. Here, Father said, it is to forget. You completely forget about my own individual being saved and completely forget about my own family being saved and fight in tears to become sacrificial offering for the sake of the salvation and liberation of humankind in this world beyond the people and the nation. Wow. Like this, when you completely forget about the salvation of individual, family, tribe, and nation for the sake of the salvation of all mankind, a new historical global movement shall arise, bringing a new global transformation. This is where the ideology of the kingdom of heaven begins. Wow, my goodness. When you completely focus on world salvation, the salvation for all mankind, then automatically, no worry, okay? Your individual salvation can be done, and your tribal salvation can be done, and then your national salvation can be realized. That's why our fight, continuously Father talking about, our target is salvation, all mankind and world. Yesterday, someone sent me, text message, very long message, and he related to the Africa. And then he wrote to me. He said, thank you, Dr. He said, I really appreciate America because some of our GPA member now came to the Africa to serve some nations. Wow, America now, you are sending missionary all over the world, Albania, Europe, South America, and Africa. Wow. He's saying that he really feels overwhelmed. You see, even though we are not sending so many, our second generation to the world, but they are very inspired. Anything related to the whole world, anything to relate to the war, I am telling you, my brothers and sisters, directly connect to God's vision and God's dream. That's why whatever we do, my brothers and sisters, the role of the America is for what? For the sake of all mankind, for the sake of the world. Never ever forget. When you focus on the salvation for all mankind and world, no worry individual salvation, no worry about family salvation, no worry tribal salvation, your nation salvation. It is really automatically can be realized. This is really one of the top secret. This is the very important guidance from our true parents, my brothers and sisters. Next.
God's desires for the people of a nation to embrace the will of providence of saving the world over the nation, rather than embracing the goal centered on saving a nation and its people. If there are such people of a nation, they can save the world no matter how evil their history may have been. Great Britain was a bunch of pirates in the past. Yet, since they carried on missionary activities of Christianity for the sake of the world beyond the people of their nation, they were able to guide the world's civilizations. In doing so, they became an advanced nation of this world through the course of the rise and fall of cultures. It is not because their history was good. They are receiving such blessings because they had become the champion of this pioneering course for the sake of the world, while they trod such a miserable path while shedding tears for the sake of the global course to come.
Yes, God's desires for the people of the nation to embrace the will of providence of saving the world over the nation, rather than embracing the goal centered on saving a nation and its people. Wow. So in that perspective, what is God's wish for America? If we say that America will that saves the world, God says that it will become a nation that is eternally blessed. Do you know, my brothers and sisters? Again and again, I realized, even when I was in, Asia, how let our young people inspire, need to give the vision for war, vision for the sake of the all mankind. Let them serve for the sake of the world. Then young people, they really, they are inspired. So the vision and dream of our GPA, our young generation, we need to always encourage for them to go to the world and all mankind. That's why our blessed family, when you raise up your children, always need to give that kind of vision and dream. You need to serve the world. You need to serve the world, okay? You need to save the all mankind. Need to have the same mindset, same attitude, same vision and same dream, like our true parents. Then directly, our dream and vision relate to heavenly parents. Each one of our unificationists, each one of our blessed family, each one of our second generation, third generation, like that. Can you imagine the whole world, how much they appreciate our North America? My brothers and sisters, today I told you the top secret, how to inspire young people. Give the vision. What kind of vision? Saving whole world and all mankind.
This is really, because this is God's wishes. This is God's wishes. No, we just only capture them and let them grow up within our own nation, within our own culture, own our our boundaries. They cannot grow up. But what is our goal? One family under God. Beyond racism, beyond nationalities, beyond any boundaries. My brothers and sisters, all mankind, they are my own brothers and sisters. Next.
We can see these facts through modern history. Thus, we of the Unification Church today must also shed tears. These tears should not be shed for our own sake, but for the sake of the nation and humankind. If you can shed tears with this heart, the people of this world shall be resurrected. That nation too shall be resurrected. If there are sons and daughters who offer their entire life and shed tears on that destined path to prepare an altar of repentance and redemption, God would not allow that person to die. When God asks, "What is it that you desire? Do you wish for your family?" And you answer, "No, I do not wish for a family, but wish for that nation you are restoring." If you answer in this way, in tears, God will grasp your hand saying, "My beloved, I had been searching for a son like you. I have finally found you." God would weep and divulge his story to you. This is the kind of setting in which you create a bond with God. In other words, you create a bond in that place where you can say, "Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done."
Yes. Therefore, what must we do? Create unforgettable bond with God. We should be able to answer that it is to have a desire for the nation and world God is looking for, rather than to save myself and my family. Wow, today, through the Father's guidance, really amazing. I am so inspired. I have a more clear vision how to raise up our second generation, third generation, our youth leaders. We let them go to the war. Surely, anyone go to the war and serving the nation, serving the continent, when they come back, they can have unforgettable experience. They giving testimony to the other young guys, and then they can influence them. My brothers and sisters, let's give the great vision and hope and dream to our young generations. Today's youth ministry, the servants of faith and the masters of faith. Read, please.
The servant's faith and the master's faith. Christians' faith is believing in Jesus in order for their sins to be forgiven and receive salvation through Jesus. It has nothing to do with Jesus' circumstances, but seeks to receive blessings first by believing. That is why this is the gospel in the ears of servants. But what kind of gospel can the Unification Church hear? Fallen human beings are willing to bear the cross of suffering for indemnity and suffer. The gospel of Christianity is that even though I am worthless and have no merit, I must be saved by the precious blood of Jesus. This is to see the virtue of Jesus. That is why they seek to receive salvation thanks to Jesus. These kinds of words come from the servant's way of thinking. It turns out that this is not something to be very proud of. This is like wanting to get a good meal at a wedding venue where you accidentally stop by when you did nothing.
So what is the difference between servants of faith and masters of faith? So servant of faith is the first thing about his own interests and think that he will be blessed first. On the other hand, the masters of faith is to save others through the sacrificing himself. Even more, he takes the cross of the country and humanity and God. The master's of faith is the faith of the Hyojung, that he is willing to offer his life for his parents. Continue.
The gospel that the servants hear is that the incurable disease can be healed. It is the gospel that the blind can see. Their gospel is that the crippled can walk. For those who suffer much and carry the cross, the words of Jesus, "Come to me, all who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest," is their gospel. This is not the faith they believe in because of the owner's circumstance and wishes, but the servant's faith of seeking to solve my own circumstances and wishes. It is trying to rely on Jesus because he said that he would remove my heavy burdens and give me rest. When Jesus showed signs and miracles to the Israelites, many of his followers wanted to follow and believe in Jesus simply to fulfill their own wishes, regardless of what kind of God and wishes Jesus came with. That's why True Father called such faith the servant's faith. Of course, among devout Christians, there are not necessarily only those who practice the same faith as servants. In the early days of the Unification Church, a young man went to a very poor country and did witnessing activities. He had nowhere to teach his students, so he gathered them from the streets and taught them. He had nothing to eat, and he was often starving. At that time, a very young person favored him and tried to help him, but then he withdrew. The reason was that he thought if he befriended the young man, he would have to give him what he had. However, the Christian pastor next door came with a carload of food and medicine and supplies and distributed them all to those returning to listen to his sermons. For those who were in poor circumstances, they would have been that would have been their gospel. This kind of self-centered faith to achieve something is the faith of a servant. Motivation is very important to having faith. It is asking if it is faith of believing in heaven because of my wishes or faith of believing because of heaven's wishes. Following a faith centered on one's wishes and circumstances is the servant's faith. A servant's faith does not care at all about his master's circumstances. It is enough to just go to the owner's house, do the work, and get paid. A servant becomes a person who has nothing to do with his master when his circumstances and purpose are resolved. In this way, it is difficult to deny yourself if you are self-centered and find only what you like, not giving any regard to the circumstances of the master. It soon becomes self-affirmation and self-love, and it is easy to fall into injustice.
Yes, denying myself and nailing myself to the cross is completely get rid of my habits of fallen nature. To deny myself means to live for subject's wishes, the subject's purpose. This is the true attitude of the denying myself. On the path of the faith, when one's own interests become the motives of the one's wishes, it is easy to stop in the middle and betray. In the end, if it does not match one's wishes and desire, he throws everything away and goes back to the finding the way he wants.
So we must carefully check the motives of our faith. What motivated you to join the Unification Church? Some people say that the Unification Church helps single men and women marry. So there are people who came in for the purpose of getting married. Some came for business purposes. If so, then that person is a servant. A servant cannot have a heart-to-heart relationship with his master. Isn't that so? The Unification Church is a place that deals with the circumstances, feelings, and wishes of the owner. If you come to receive your wages, you are only here for work, not because of the owner. Most of all religions today are of that kind.
God always sees someone's motivation when he walks in determination. Is his motivation self-centered? Is he centered on God? Is the motivation for himself? Does he walk for the whole and God's will? Heaven is always responsible for the cases where a person's motivation starts genuinely from God's will, but fails on the way. By looking at the past and motives of Adam and Eve's fall, God decided which one was better or worse, which one is more good side or evil side. Always God is checking, centering on motivation. That's why our motivation should be pure. Our motivation should think for the sake of others first. As long as we have that kind of pure motivation, living for the sake of others, somehow we can fail on the way, but God totally will be responsible to encourage me to start again. Okay?
Are there any religions that claim to know God's circumstances and wishes? If there had been, God would have already worked centered on that group. They all say that they will receive blessings themselves. Are you the owner? Are you a servant? A servant sheds no tears for his master, but filial children cry many tears for their parents. As we walk along the path of faith, even when we know the pitiful circumstances of God and true parents, we do not have sympathy and tears do not flow because we have the consciousness of the master in our head, but our heart is still at the level of a servant.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. The master's faith is a faith which understands God's circumstances and wishes very, very well. The master's faith is a faith which is willing to carry any cross on behalf of God and the Lord. The master's faith of faith which considers the hardship as God's suffering, no matter how hard it may be, and always shed tears to comfort the pitiful and sorrowful God. The servant's faith has no tears for his owner. If you don't have tears for God and true parents as a leader, it is either servant's faith or adopted son's faith. Father say, as a leader, you don't have tears. You are not yet reached to the level of God's children. You don't have tears. Your faith still under the servant faith or adopted sons of faith. How often do you shed tears for God and true parents for all mankind? Father said, one of the most important, qualification as a leader, you need to have tears. Tears for your tribe, for your nation, and for the sake of the world, and for the sake of God. But fallen men, not easy to have tears because my faith is still the level of the, servant. That's why we need to cultivate our heart. When we reach it to God's heart, when we know God's wishes, when we know God's really uneasy situation, automatically tears come down. That's why Father's life is a life of tears. You look at our true mother, her life is a life of tears. We are trying to resemble our true parents. We need to have that kind of heart, that kind of tears for the sake of others. A leader without tears isn't capable of reviving others. As a leader, you don't have tears, you cannot raise up even one person. This is my experience. As a leader, you don't have tears for your object partner, your spiritual children. Even though your spiritual children join church, but run away on the way. Our spiritual children can grow up through spiritual parents, tears and sweat and blood. No other way. Tears. This is the best weapon to raise up our spiritual children. This is the best weapon to raise up our own children. Then, my brothers and sisters, that's why, if you don't have tears, you cannot impress any other one. The master's faith is a faith of Shojang in using the body of a servant with the heart of parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Young, for that beautiful, amazing message. To really have our motivation for faith and our dreams centered on God and true parents, and only then can we be able to share God's heart and understand God's heart. So thank you. So now let's go into our breakout rooms and share with one another our takeaways together, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back, family. I hope you enjoyed your breakout. So today I would like to invite up Uncle Jim and Gudrun Gavin. If you could please unmute and share.
Gudrun, you want to go?
Okay. Well, I guess Dr. Young really touched our heart with his vision for the young people to go abroad as missionaries, you know, with the GPA. I think we restarted something to go like to Africa or Albania, and we remember some of our children went to the European STF, and they went to Eastern Europe at that time, and they witnessed, and their hearts really changed a lot, because coming out of America, you have a different perspective. And that time, Eastern Europe was still, new, opened up, and they really found spiritual children, and it had a big impact on them. So I think for young people to go out, it really shapes their hearts and their minds and opens them up to the world. And also where they go, people receive them and gain hope and can accept true parents. It is an exchange of hearts that really can have a big impact. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Good run for your sharing I really agree with you that, this time I met many key leaders from all over the world. Then they greet me regarding a few things. They are saying that, wow, America is providing morning devotion, spiritual food every day. Most of them are really appreciate. And then secondly, they also really appreciate America. We choose some of the nation to help from America. So we already select each nation, one nation in each continent from America. So I think they also really appreciating about our Americans' help. And then also, our GPA young members go everywhere. Many of them, they really happily, really greeting to me. I really appreciate all American and brothers and sisters' great contribution. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, let's go to Jim.
Yeah, Dr. Young, thank you so much for your teaching us every day, these deep, meaningful, spiritual truths that just really changes our life. And I know when you came here to Minnesota, you talked about, we should adopt another nation and we should raise money for that nation. And, our state should have that kind of a heart toward another country. And, I think that's a great teaching. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, the world that God loves, right? And you're teaching us that again this morning. And I know when we went to the blessing in 1975, we went to Japan right after the blessing to witness for the Budokan rally, right? Yeah. And we were witnessing in Japanese on the streets, right? I never forget that, But Father and Mother gave us the experience to reach out to the whole world. Yeah, that's what made us have a big dream and have a big heart and love brothers and sisters from all different nationalities. And I think that's why people love our movement so much, is because of that love for the world. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Jim, and then good run, Gavin family couple. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And next, I would like to invite up Kim Bembi Koko. If you could please unmute and share.
Hello, good morning, brother and sister.
Oh, Kim Bembi Koko, Coca-Cola, Coco.
Yeah, Dr. Young, good morning. Yeah, I was sharing in the group of me on about the tear. you was talking about when we cry, what is the motive of our tear? Most of the time, cry for myself, but really, I want really to cry for God. Find this small window to start to cry just for God. And then even they cry when you are in the leader position, thinking to the people you're leading, because you want to see some improvement of change to connect to God. It's very painful because when this tear bring you to understand God's heart, because that's why God feel on, even on myself, what God feel when he look me. I'm struggling with my change step by step. God feel pain, and this only the pain can bring me to have tear, even when to war to my own children. Even God cannot do what I want to do. So this one make God feel pain every day. So every time I'm thinking my motivation to do things and the reason of my tear. And almost I don't want to cry anymore for myself.
Wow.
So,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank
so
you, Kimberly Coco. And really, tearful leadership is one of the important quality leadership as a leader. This is what I feel, because I learned from father and mother. And I learned also from my spiritual father, Reverend Johan Lee, how much they often cry for the sake of the world and for the sake of their members. This is one of the most important about the leadership, tearful leadership. We really need to inherit from our true parents and multiply to, our young leaders, and then they also can understand more God and can understand more about the situation of all mankind. Thank you very much, our Kim Bembi, for your beautiful sharing. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your heart. And thank you to all who shared this morning. It was wonderful to hear your insights and your appreciations today. And now for our friendly reminders. Number 1 is to invite someone from your Trinity, someone from your family or community, and you'll be glad that you did. Because it's always really amazing to see new faces every morning and be a part of our holy community. Number 2, joyfully give from your heart. Offer a prayer or a song to see how God may inspire you to give a little bit more of your heart to our morning devotion. And now for our musical offering, I'd like to invite up Elena Bahian. If you could please unmute and share your song.
Good morning, Dr. Young.
Wow.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the song that I'm going to sing today is a determination of who I am as the member of the Unification movement. After I have been witnessed, it was in my blood that I have the mission to do. So the title of my song is No Matter What. So no matter what, if I have tears along the way as I witness, it doesn't matter, because my focus is to ease the pain of God. So I have to do my best to win the people and bring them into the blessing. So here we go. Please enjoy this song.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Thank you, Elena, for your beautiful song. Oh, you are become more professional now. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much for that beautiful song. It really lifted our spirits this morning. Now, to close us off in prayer, I would like to invite up Junko Osberg to close us today.
중고 짠다. 중고 짠다.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly parents and true parents, thank you so much for the guidance today. Really, really touched my heart. And I really understand now that we really need to have a vision, not only for individual sake or our tribe's sake, or not for the nation, but we really need to have the vision for the world, dream for the world, and really just having that dream for world salvation, and that we can move on, and that we can unite with you. We can unite in your with you in the heart, and we really, 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 really want to connect with you in your heart, and we want to have master's heart, not the servant's heart. We want to be a master, so that we can embrace everybody, and so then people can connect with us in heart. They want to come to us, not because they want to get paid, not because they want to get saved and just only for their purpose. They want to be here because they really want to be here, because of the heart. And thank you so much for this teaching, and we want to carry on this heart, because true mother and true parents and God taught us this is so precious, and we are going to do it. And with the victory that true parents had, and we're going to carry on, and we want to make them happy, and we want to take a little bit of burden off of true parents' shoulders. And so thank you again, and we want to win the victory today, and thank you so much. And I pray this in the name of Jejun Pa Osberg, bless Central family, Jew.
Oh, thank you, Junko, for your really heartfelt prayer. I really, really miss your daughter. Someday, I hope can see your daughter. And also, my dear brothers and sisters, today, because of recording, I could not show some photo. And then True Mother called the major leaders, continental directors, Chunwiwon directors, and UPF leaders, and our Dr. Jenkins and Tom McDavid, and they gave a really, really beautiful report to Mother, including our Dr. Walsh. I think True Mother was like overwhelmed regarding our America nation as elder sons nation's great effort and dedication. So tomorrow morning I will show some photo when our Dr. Jenkins and Thomas Walsh and Dr. McDavid, and when they report to True Mother. I really appreciate all our UPF staff and leaders and members. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much for that beautiful prayer to close us off, Junko. So that is it for today. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I hope every single one of you has a wonderful, lovely day. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. Thank you, everybody.